I'm Miss Nelson, and today we're going to talk about solving systems of equations with elimination. So for elimination, step 1 is to multiply one in both equations by a number to result in two equations that contain opposite terms. Step 2, add the equations eliminating one variable, then solve the equation. And then step 3, substitute to solve for the other variable. So we're going to try an example. So here, they already have different signs, so we can just add them. So 3x plus 2x is 5x. Negative y plus y gets you 0, and 7 plus 3 is 10. Now to solve for x, you divide both sides by 5, and x equals 2. And now you can plug it back into either one of these equations. So three times 2 is 6. You subtract 6 from both sides. So you have negative y equals 1. Divide by negative 1. And y equals negative 1. And then you can write your ordered pair. So we have 2 for x and negative 1 for y.
One thing too, guys, if you were on your MCA test, you could put the 2 in for x and the y in, or the y coordinate in for y, and make sure it works in both, so you can check.
Alright, so here, none of these are the same, so we're going to have to find two numbers that are the same. So an easy way to do this is just by multiplying two of the numbers together. So here, we can multiply this equation by 5, and this equation by 2. And you don't have to multiply by a negative because this is already a negative. So if we multiply this equation by 2, we get 8x minus 10y equals negative 36. And if we multiply this equation by 5, we have 15x plus 10y equals negative 10. So we're going to add those. 15x plus 8 is 23x. Negative 10y plus 10y is 0. And then negative 36 plus negative 10 is negative 46. Then to solve for x, you can divide by 23. And you get x equals negative 2. And now you can plug a negative 2 back into one of the equations. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. You can add negative, or you can add 8. And then you divide by negative 5. So y is 2. So your ordered pair would be negative 2, 2. So for this one, an easy way would just be to multiply by negative 2. So we have negative 6x minus 2y equals 14. And then this one stays the same. You add them. Negative 6x plus 6x cancels out to 0. And negative 2y plus 2y cancels out to 0. So 0 equals 19, which isn't true. So that means that the answer would be no solution. If you get confused if it's no solution or infinitely many solutions, you can just solve for y. So both of the slopes are the same. So, but the y-intercepts aren't the same, so then that means it would be no solution. If you find that it's infinitely many solutions, the slope and the y-intercept would both be the same, so you'd have the same line. Does that make sense? Okay. Alright, so now for this one, we're gonna multiply the top one by 2. So we have 4x plus 10y equals 2. And then the bottom one stays the same. You add them. 4x minus 4x gets you 0. 10y plus negative 10y gets you 0. 2 plus negative 2 gets you 0. So 0 equals 0. So that is a correct statement. So that means that it's infinitely many solutions.
So sometimes it does that, and then you just have to go back up here.
Okay. Alright, so last year the volleyball team paid $5 for a pair of socks and $17 for a pair of shorts on a total purchase of $315. This year they spent $342 to buy the same number of pairs of socks and shorts because the socks now cost $6 a pair and the shorts cost $18. How many pairs of socks and shorts did the team buy each year? So let's have X be socks. And then Y be shorts. So you know that they paid $5 for each pair of socks, so that would be 5x, plus $17 for a pair of shorts, so that's 17y, and that gave you 315. And then for your next equation, socks are now $6, so that's 6x, plus shorts are 18, so that's 18y. And you spend $342. So now, an easy way would just be to multiply these two together. So this would be multiplying by -6, and this would be 5. So we got -30x plus negative 102y equals negative 1,890. Here we have 30x plus 90y equals 1,710. So now we can add those. So negative 30x plus 30x is 0. Negative 102y plus 90y is negative 12y. And then negative 1,890 plus 1,710 gets you negative 180. To solve for y, we divide by negative 12. And y equals 15. And now you can plug that into the equation up top. So 5x plus 17 times 15 equals 315. So 17 times 15 is 255. So now you subtract 255. That gives you 60, and then you divide by 5. And x equals 12. So it would be 12 socks, because x is for sock, and then 15 shorts. Alright, the school that Stefan goes to is selling tickets to a choral performance. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 3 senior citizen tickets and 1 adult ticket for a total of $38. The school took in $52 on the second day by selling 3 senior citizen tickets and 2 adult tickets. Find the price of a senior citizen ticket and the price of an adult ticket. So let's have X be the senior citizen ticket. And then Y would be our adult ticket. And so our 2 equations would be, so they sold 3 senior citizen tickets, so that's 3x, plus 1 adult ticket, so that's plus y, and that got you $38. Then on the second day, they sold 3 senior citizen tickets, so that's 3x, plus 2 adult tickets, so that's 2y, and that was $52. So an easy way to do this is just multiplying by -1. So the top one stays the same, 3x plus y equals 38. And then we got -3x plus -2y equals -52. You can add those. 3x plus -3x is 0, and y plus -2y is -y. 38 plus -52 is -14. Then you can divide by -1, and y is 14. So now you can plug 14 into one of the equations. So 3x plus 14 equals 38. Subtract 14, divide by 3, and x is 8. So that means that it was $8 for the senior citizen ticket. And $14 for the adult ticket. Alright, Roscoe makes a $9.25 purchase at the grocery store with a $20 bill. The store has no bills and gives him all his change in quarters and 50-cent pieces. There are 30 coins in all. How many 50-cent pieces were there? So, in this case, you're finding the difference between 20 and 9.25 to find out how much change he's getting. So you can just subtract those. And that gives you $10.75. So we'll have QB for quarters. And then F be for 50-cent pieces. So you know that there are 30 coins in total, so that means the amount of quarters and 50-cent pieces add up to 30. So Q plus F equals 30. And then a quarter is worth 25 cents. So you have 0.25 Q plus the 50-cent piece is worth 50 cents. So 0.5 F, and you know that your change is gonna be 1075. So now, you can multiply the top equation by negative 0.25. So now you have negative 0.25 Q minus 0.25 F equals negative 7.5. And then the bottom equation stays the same. Then you can add them, and negative 0.25 Q plus 0.25 Q gets you 0. Negative 0.25 F plus 0.5 F gets you 0.25 F, and then negative 7.5 plus 10.75 is 3.25. Now you can divide both sides by 0.25. And you get F equals 13. And the question is asking, how many 50-cent pieces were there? F represents 50 cents, so there were 13. Alright, that's it. Now we're on to homework.